there. Good to see you. We're here. This is the last night of the 2020 Senior Project Presentations Quarantine Edition. Yeah! Oh man, this is so awesome. We have been just so blessed and so lucky that the last 3 nights have gone really, really well, and we've had scores and scores of people connecting to the event at home, and it obviously would not happen without you actually wanting to make it happen. So thank you for zooming in, and I want to just do a couple of quick announcements before we get started. So if you at home, make sure you mute yourself. So turn that microphone off so that there's no random ambient noise. And also, if you could turn off your video, okay? Turn off your camera. There's a little camera thing at the bottom there. Make sure that's off, and that'll just help the stream from here come smoothly into your home, okay? Awesome. Oh, one more thing. At the end of the presentation, we will have time for questions and for jubilant feedback, and that will be open through the chat function, which is at the bottom there, and so just type into the chat, and that'll be at the end. Okay. Am I missing anything? I think we got this. All right. So let's end this wild journey strong tonight. I'm super excited to bring up here to the podium Miranda Whitaker.
Good evening. I have always had a soft spot for animation. As a child, I loved the feeling of being whisked away into the fantasy worlds of Disney and Pixar. There was just something so special about the way I felt whenever I watched one of those movies. The bright colors, the singing, the dancing, the captivating plot line. But as I got older, I began to wonder how exactly these movies were made. I wanted to learn about the process, about the animation, and how it all comes together. At an early age, I really got into the show Adventure Time, came out in 2010. And I immediately was hooked. It has such a special place in my heart. The stories, the songs, the simple but complex animation is just something that really captivated me as a kid, and to this day I still watch this show. And it was a show that I would watch whenever I felt sad or depressed or stressed. And I actually still watch it when I'm feeling those things. But this is just such a special show, and I wanted to do something for my project. I wanted to do something with animation, but what really sparked my interest was I have this little book called The Art of Ooh that I received when I was about 12, and it just goes into detail about how they create the episodes, how the animation works, the process of the storyboarding and all that, and it really interested me. So about, middle of junior year, I was having kind of a sad, airy time. I was kind of depressed. I wasn't doing well. And one of the things I did to feel better was I watched Adventure Time. And it was around this time that I rediscovered this yellow book. And since it was getting closer to senior year, I was trying to figure out what to do for senior projects. I was like, you know what? I've always been interested in animation. Why don't I take a stab at it? So that's what I did. I decided that I wanted to do a 10-minute animation of a children's TV show, like a pilot episode. So I kind of got started mostly by doing little doodles in science class. Sorry, Vicky. So as you see here, this little character that I circled, she is actually the main character in my video, and we'll get to that in a second. So it all started with a few doodles. I was just messing around with like some little planets. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of having fun. And then, so after junior year, it was the summer before senior year, and I wanted to get started on my animation as soon as possible because animation takes a very, very long time. So I ordered a Wacom tablet, which is this little thing right here. It digitizes your drawings and it puts it onto a computer. And these are some of the little characters I had for my original television show idea. I was really excited to get started, and I was really ready to go on this journey of animation, but I needed a mentor. So I looked for people who would be into that kind of thing, but then I realized my dad lives with me and is a professional in the animation area. He's a web designer and he's very talented when it comes to Adobe and all these animating softwares. So I asked him and he agreed, and he helped me, he introduced me to some of these different softwares. So I originally wanted to start out with Toon Boom Animation, which is an animating software that many popular shows use. And so I was kind of bragging. I was like, I got this animation software that The Simpsons use. Wow. But I had no clue how to use it. And it takes years to master animation programs. And unfortunately, my dad was new to it as well. So I was kind of stuck in a rut there. So we kind of pondered a little bit over the summer. We were like, should we try this or should we just go with Adobe? And eventually we decided to cancel our subscription and work with Adobe instead. Because my dad already knew how to do that, how to use that software, and he would be able to teach me. So the school year came, and I was in a play, I was doing all these things, I was doing college applications, and by I think mid-November, I did not have much done because I was in way, way over my head. I didn't realize that for a 10-minute animation, it typically consists of a team of about 20 people, and it takes about 6 months. And there's storyboarding, rigging, drawing, shading, backgrounds, audio syncing, animating, voice actors, music, and all of these things that I had no time to do. So I met with my advisor, Sean, and I was like, I can't do this. So we came up with the idea. We were kind of bouncing ideas back and forth, and eventually Sean mentioned how music has always been a part of my life and how much I love music. And I got the idea to stick with the animation theme, but incorporate music as well. So I decided that I would write and produce a song and have a 4-minute animation video to accompany it. So with my original idea, I was kind of juggling around with the space theme. I had all those little planets and those little guys. So I kind of wanted to stick with the space theme with my song as well, and with my original music video. So I started writing the song. I was playing around with some chords on the piano and the guitar. I used GarageBand to create my song. And I eventually came up with the song Meteor, and it's about something we can all, I think, relate to, which is unrequited love. But I incorporated the word meteor into it, and it's got a lot of references to space and things like that. So I just wanted to, do that. So next thing to work on after I finished the song was the cover art. So I took a photo of me doing this with a pencil, and then I just sketched over it in my Adobe Animate, or my Adobe Illustrator. And as you can see, I'm kind of spitballing a little meteor, which is the whole thing. It's like spitballing a little meteor, and yeah. So by the time I had finished the song and the cover art, it was right after winter break, so the end of December, and I had not gotten as much done as I had hoped. I am a professional procrastinator, and I have a hard time sticking to something and doing it consistently. And I ran into this issue a lot during winter break. I was like, I'm gonna get so much done, I'm gonna really focus on my work, and I didn't even get to record my song. So I ended up recording it actually the day after spring or winter break ended, and we recorded about 15 tracks. And here's my these are some of my characters. So this is my original girl. This I sent this original girl over to my dad to put into one of the animating programs so he could just do a little levitating with it. And then he sent me back this green thing, because he tried to redraw my character in Animate and he did not do it well. So I freaked out and I said, Dad, there's no way I'm using this. But he was just joking, so then he sent me this. And so I was relieved when that happened. These are a couple of my little side characters. You'll see them once the video shows up. So anyways, this was my little studio setup. This is me in my dad's little office. So he has this nice microphone, which is very professional and high-end. And we recorded about 15 tracks right after winter break. And I was like, okay, we got it. We got the song. We're great. And then the next day, my dad comes up to me with this grimace on his face, and he says, the heater was running, and all of the tracks are trash. So I was disappointed. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, we don't have time. Plus, it also sounded bad because there was no compression on the microphone, and it was set to an odd setting. And secretly, my dad had been working on this little project. He created a little recording studio with foam and tape and cardboard, and he tried the microphone out with this little thing and told me it sounded so much better because it sounded much more compressed and professional. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I told you that we needed a compression thing because it sounds terrible. So once I finished the actual song, I recorded it again. It was time to start the actual animation process. These are a couple of my storyboards. I just printed out a storyboard template off of Google, and I basically went line by line of my song, and I kind of just had this cute little love story in my mind of this girl liking a guy, but the guy doesn't like her, and then she finds another guy, you know, classic. So then my next thing to do was I needed to get some backgrounds. So my dad has a subscription to Adobe Images, which was great. So I basically took these original images on this side and I just rendered them I wanted them to be more have more of a harsh outline and have different colors and all these things. So I took these and I played with them a little bit, and these are my final backgrounds. So this is my little setup. Right here we have two big monitors. Here's me working on my layering. So when you're doing animation, there are probably, in this just 4-minute animation, there are probably about 1,000 layers altogether, because each scene needs different layers. Like there's eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, puffs of smoke, and the background and the sky, and it's just a lot. So what my dad and I did was I basically directed him what to do. And so him and I were going back and forth. Since he's a master at this, he did a lot of the actual putting it in place. And then he taught me he gave me a little 1 minute or 1 hour session on how to work it. And I actually learned quite a bit. I learned the basics of animation in about an hour. So this is me working on a couple of the scenes. And yeah, so I'm ready to show the video now. So I hope you all enjoy. This is called Meteor. And we're just going to get this set up really quick.
Share computer sound. Okay. I can turn it around.
Oh, please.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you all see white?
Oh, it's not going to come up on.
No, it's right on this one. Do you guys want to come see?
Should I?
Well, what's weird is. Okay, ready?
All right, enjoy.
You were there and then you disappeared, dissolved into dust. I was hoping that you'd come around, but I know that you're not one to trust. I was thinking you'd be there. I was gonna keep you near. Now you're walking off the deep end, deaf and blind and unaware. Why waste hours chasing after you, and soon it shouldn't matter, but I know it isn't fair. No, I know it isn't fair. Thinking to myself as I stare at the ceiling, wonder if you look in my eyes again. Better watch out for it, better look up toward the sky, for it comes shooting from above, hits you in the head. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's like you're on your own planet. You're orbiting around my heart. I'll try to turn it into granite, but I know you'll keep breaking it apart. I was gonna help you see what could have been all yours. Now you're running blindly into sealed off doors. Why waste hours chasing after you? And now it doesn't matter still. I know it isn't fair. And I know you'll never care. Thinking to myself as I stare at the ceiling. Whoa, wonder if you look in my eyes again. Better watch out for it, better look up toward the sky, for it comes shooting from above, hits you in the head. Whoa, 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 whoa. Making space in my brain is getting tiring. Wasting energy fixed on you is just too much. I need to get out of this house I've been stuck in for so long. So long. Thinking to myself as I stare at the ceiling. Wonder if you look in my eyes again. Better watch out for it, better look up toward the sky, for it comes shooting from above, hits you in the head. Whoa, 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 whoa,
All right. I'd like to thank my dad, Gino, for helping me get through this. I would not have done it without him. I couldn't have done it without him.
Did you know?
I'd like to thank my mom for helping me with my voice and being super supportive and helping me with my presentation. I'd like to thank Sean for being a great support, and wonderful house leader.
Yes,
I'd like to thank Vicky for being there, just always being there and being so sweet. And I'd like to thank all of the Youth Initiative faculty for busting their butts and being there during this trying time and helping us through this. And I'd like to thank my friends for being supportive and being patient with me when I tell them I'm not showing them the video until the actual presentation.
There's already 22 things on the chat. Okay. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Lots of love. You can look at Diva. Wow, that was great. OMG. I know what that means.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Shut up. So proud of you. You're such a BOP. Bop?
Bop. It's a bop.
Okay.
Just a bop.
Is this song on Spotify? Will it be?
Yes.
Well, I'm kind of self-conscious about the song right now, but I don't know. Maybe I will. Probably. I have an account, so. The video will be on YouTube.
Sweet. That was amazing. Did you play the instrumental part of your song?
No, that was on guitar, or that was on GarageBand. My dad played the guitar part, right? Yeah, he played the guitar part.
But you played all the things. with
Right.
the
For the
keyboard.
little keyboard, I use my phone, so I was doing this because my computer doesn't work.
So you did play the instrumental part.
Right, I did play the instrumental part, but it was on a phone.
I want to be clear. Did you write and sing the music? Yeah, be clear.
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes.
Did your characters have names? And what was your songwriting process?
My characters, I kind of called them Purple Dude, Love Interest, Pink Girl, Gal, and Flower. So not really. In my songwriting process, I actually found this little in my my memos from like 2 years ago, and I wanted to do something with that. And I was just kind of writing things down. I don't know, it kind of just came to me.
That was so amazing. You are so amazing. This is Vicky. Did you also? Yeah. So you did write the song. Why did you choose Pink Water?
Well, I had this image of since it's kind of in space and everything is different. I wanted to have this image of just kind of like this just bright pink. I don't really know why I chose pink, but I just wanted something besides blue. But that ocean is kind of supposed to represent her like her depression, I guess, or her sadness, and that's why it zoomed into the little tear. But yeah, it was just a creative choice, I guess.
What a beautiful voice and a creative project. I want to hear it again. What is the name of the song?
Meteor.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping. That was so great. Did you record the harmony parts of the song?
Yes, I did.
This is Monica. She wants to know something.
Yes, I did. I recorded them on 3 separate tracks. I originally, the main vocal I actually did 2 days ago because I didn't like how the other one sounded. And so I just was like, I'm just going to do it. And it actually ended up sounding the best out of the 25 tracks we've done. And then I just had previously done like 3 different harmonies and some little like ad-libs a couple months ago. So I just added those in. And, yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, totally.
So given the amount of
really loud so that we can hear.
given the amount of time and work this project took, can you see yourself doing more of this kind of thing?
Maybe for fun. I don't know. As a job, I mean, it's a lot. It's really satisfying to see the end result, but there's a lot of time and a lot. You have to like really focus on what you're doing because one little thing, one little slip up can mess up a whole entire scene, and that's something that you really don't want to do. So it's very meticulous work, and I could see myself doing it in the future, but not as like a career. But
Well, you're very talented at it.
Who will take over for your father when he gets too old?
We love this woman. How many frames per second was your animation? Incredible.
24 frames per second.
Do we watch it again? Showstop. I'll put it on and I'll put it on again once we're done. What is your service component?
Oh yes, I totally forgot to mention. So my original service component, I was going to have a bake sale at the projects, and I was going to donate that money to RAIN, which is an organization that supports women who are in like abusive relationships and have gone through sexual trauma and stuff like that. But due to COVID, I couldn't do that. So now my mom and I are just taking a bunch of our old t-shirts and making masks, and we're going to give them to people out on the front lines, working in stores and stuff.
Yeah. Someone would love to buy this. Great. Let's put our hands together for. Yeah.